welcome to today's yoga practice. So today is one of those days where we're really going to focus on letting things unfold. So let's get started. Sit comfortably, sit tall. You do not need to have your legs crossed. You can have your legs straight out in front of you. But whatever position you're sitting in, make sure that your hips are higher than your knees. If you need to, go ahead and sit on a pillow, a rolled up blanket, or a yoga block if you happen to have one. I'm not practicing with a yoga block today, but feel free to use one if you have one. Once you're settled in, close your eyes. Take a breath, and as you exhale, just sink in. This is your very first yoga experience. I encourage you to listen to your body and only do what feels right, modify in whatever way you need to. If you've practiced with me before, welcome back, and I hope you enjoyed today's practice. Rest your hands on your thighs. Connect to your breath first. Notice if your breath feels hurried or restrained in any way, and let go of control here. Allow your breath to simply be whatever it wants to be. And notice when you give your breath your focus, things begin to slow down. The outside world gets a little bit smaller, and some of those stresses and distractions begin to peel away. As you exhale, feel yourself sinking into your body, sinking deeper. Feel things begin to soften and let go. And just feel how wonderful it is to sit, connect mind, body, and breath. It's really that simple. Your next breath in, sweep your arms up and let your hands come together overhead. And as you exhale, let your hands float down, palm pressing to palm. Another breath in, sweeping your arms up with your breath. Make your movement a little bit bigger, your breath a little bit bigger. Hands come together overhead. As you exhale, hands float down. 2 more breaths. Just make your breath as satisfying, as deep, as round as it can be. Whatever descriptor you want, make it so. Feel your body beginning to unfold. Open. Pausing with hands right in front of heart center, eyes still softly closed. Relax the shoulders. Tune into the palms of your hands and your fingertips. And rather than pressing really tensely, keep the connection, but soften. You can soften without completely letting go. Finding the perfect balance of connection and energy. Release your hands, open your eyes. Let's come into table pose on hands and knees. Just to set up here for a moment. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Uncurl your toes, let the tops of your feet rest on the mat. That helps to take the pressure off the kneecaps. Now lift your eyes, look towards the top edge of your mat. Keep your eyes there, keep your gaze there. So you feel really long through the neck, through the spine, from the tailbone extending out through the crown of your head, long through the sides of your body. Now take a breath And as you exhale, just simply push back. Hips pushing back towards heels. Eyes still looking towards the top edge of your mat. Inhale, coming back up to your neutral table position. Exhale, sit back towards the right heel. Push the right hip over to the right so you feel a stretch happening there. Slowly coming down towards your right heel. When you're ready for your inhalation, bring yourself right back up again to the neutral position. Exhale, sit straight back, hips to heels. Eyes still on the top edge of the mat. Coming back up when you're ready for your inhalation. Exhale, yep, you got it. We're going to sit back to the left side this time. So push back, push into the left hip until you feel a stretch there, right? You need to feel a sensation there to feel like you're creating change in your body. Coming back up to table. Sitting back to center with the exhalation. Eyes on the top edge of your mat. Inhaling, coming to table. Exhaling, sitting back to the right, really pushing into the right hip, feeling the deep stretch there as you slowly come down on the right. You choose how far, that's up to you. Listen to the messages your body sends you. Coming back to center and sitting back to center. Inhaling, coming to table. Exhaling, sitting back to the left this time. Really push through the left hip. Yeah, that's a good stretch, all right. Coming back up and sitting back to center. Bring yourself back up to table. Now I'm going to stretch my left foot out. So let's go left side first today. Find a position where your left foot, the whole sole of your left foot presses into the mat. Now walk your hands towards your knee and press up. So if you feel some pressure on your right knee here, go ahead and put some extra padding under your right knee. We're not going to be here too long, just a couple of breaths. So inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides and up. Really open up through the fronts of the shoulders and the collarbones. As you exhale, left hand comes to your thigh for support, right hand reaches over. Keep your right shoulder pulled back so you're getting this lateral fold towards your left leg. But this deep stretch from your right knee, front of your right hip to your right armpit, maybe even stretching into your right elbow. Now think of the right hand reaching up to the corner where the wall meets the ceiling rather than reaching over to the left. We want to keep the left side as long as possible, but maximize the stretch in the right. Now inhale, come back to center. Bring your right hand, left hand back down to the mat. Walk your hands back to table pose. Left knee tucks under, right foot goes out to the right this time. Find the spot where you can plant your right foot, sole completely connected to the mat. If you need to, extra padding under the left knee, and walk your hands towards your knee until you're tall. Shoulders over top of hips. Now inhale, sweep out to the sides. Really open up through the shoulders, the collarbones. Feel the little bit of movement in the vertebrae here as you sweep up. Exhale, right hand comes to your thigh, left hand reaches over to the right. But think of reaching your left hand up to the corner where the wall meets the ceiling and keeping your left shoulder in line with your right shoulder rather than letting your right shoulder fall forward. Maximize the stretch on the left side without collapsing completely through the right. Just rest your right hand on your thigh. You don't need to push or brace yourself. Breathe. Swing yourself back to center. Come back to table pose. Now walk your knees wide. I like to bring mine as wide as the mat. Big toes in together to touch. Press back into a deep child's pose. Now really sink your hips as deep as you can. maximizing the range of motion into the hip joint. Come down onto your forearms and elbows here. Elbows underneath your shoulders. Take a breath, and as you exhale, push your shoulder blades in towards your spine and relax your neck. Let your head hang heavily. Relax your jaw. Just let the weight of your head do a little bit of traction on the back of the neck and stretch out the back of the shoulders. Just think of all that, those knots in your shoulders, just slowly letting go, releasing. Lift your head once again, and then press into your hands, returning to table pose. Knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders, toes curled under. Take a breath, and as you exhale, lift to downward dog. So bring a little movement to your downward dog here. Move in whatever way feels good. You can pump your heels. That always feels good. You can swing your hips. I like to bend my knees and swing my hips. Get such a good stretch, not just in the back of the legs, but into the sides of the rib cage. Amazing. And the outer edges, the outer hips. Oh my gosh, so good. You can even bend your elbows. Shift your shoulders forward, coming into kind of a little high plank position. Whew, just feel your body for a moment. Now take a breath, settle in, and as you exhale, sink into your hands, your feet. Use the strength of the hands, the fingertips, the palms of the hands, and push into the feet. Whatever parts of your feet are connected to the mat. Your heels don't need to connect to the mat here in downward dog, but you do need to have a stretch feelings in the back of your calves, the back of your thighs. Lift your heels, bend your knees, walk your feet towards your hands. Take as many steps as you need to get there. Now inhale, come halfway up. As you exhale, put a bend in the back of your knees. Rest on the heel of your hands. Let the heels of your hands rest heavily on your knees or your thighs, wherever your hands happen to be. Now use the full length of your arms to really feel free through the rib cage and the belly. Just take a breath. You can close your eyes here. Just really focus on your breath. Feel the weight sinking into the soles of your feet. Now engage the soles of the feet. Push down. Your hands are now free. Sweep out. Really open up through the sternum, through the fronts of the shoulders. Bring your gaze upwards as the hands float up. And then exhale, coming to mountain pose with your arms at your sides, hips over top of ankles, shoulders over top of hips. Standing tall. Now check in. You want your ears feeling like they're in line with your shoulders, crown of the head reaching upwards. Equal weight on the front and back of your feet. Equal weight on the four corners of your feet, which is the ball of the big toe, the inner heel, the ball of the baby toe, and the outer heel. Now check in with the arch. You want to feel like your arch is lifting. You're engaging the arch rather than letting the muscles in the feet go slack. Keep the feet strong. Now draw your shoulder blades in towards your spine. Hug the fronts of the ribs in just tight, just slightly, so the ribs aren't popping forward, popping open. You've got some stability all through the midsection. As you exhale, just let your shoulders relax. Oh, feels good. Standing here in mountain pose. Inhale, sweep the arms up. You can sweep forward, you can sweep out, whatever you choose. As you exhale, bow forward. Bend your knees enough, your fingertips come to the mat. Now use the full length of your fingers, full length of your arms. Look towards the top edge of your mat. Take a breath. And as you exhale, soles of the feet press into the floor and just try to lengthen through the back of the knees as much as possible. If you can't get your fingertips to the floor, you can go ahead and use a block. You can use a blanket. You can even use a chair, the seat of the chair under your hands. Just really soften through the upper body and focus on lengthening through the back of the legs, back of the knees. Bend your knees. Use the soles of the feet to press into the mat. Now sweep up once again. Big breath in all the way up. Hands come together overhead. Hands floating down, palm pressing to palm. Rest your hands right in front of heart center. Now hands are pressing together here. You can feel the connection, but there's no tension there. There's not too much energy. So the arms are soft. It almost feels like your hands are just floating in front of your heart. Breathe. Equal weight on the four corners of the feet. Ball of the big toe, inner heel, ball of baby toe in the outer heel. Legs are strong. You can go ahead and close your eyes. And even with the eyes closed, you feel like there's this balance between being connected to your body without holding on too tightly. There's a softness in the energy there. This is when the body unfolds. Now inhale, let the hands float up. Let your hands separate, and as you exhale, dive down. Bend your knees enough, you can plant your hands and step back to downward dog. Really sink your heels towards the floor. Feel the backs of the legs stretching even more now. Good connection between the palms of the hands. You can feel the strength in your hands, the strength in the soles of your feet, and yet the rest of your body has this whole stretch going on. The backs of the arms, you can feel the opening, unfolding happening there. The sides of the ribs from your armpits to your hips. And of course the backs of the legs. Just breathe into all that space. So good. Lift your heels, bend your knees, walk your feet towards your hands. Take as many steps as you need to get there. There's no hurry. Now inhale, come halfway up. As you exhale, fingertips come down to the mat. Step your right foot back. Long step back. Land on the ball of your right big toe. Now press into the mat with the ball of the right big toe. Pull forward. Pull back with the left heel. Long, strong legs. Now lift your eyes up towards the top edge of your mat. Keep your gaze there. Push down, pull in with the feet. Scissoring action happening with the legs. Push down, feel your hands a little bit freer. Now sweep out. Keep your eyes on the top of the mat and bring the arms overhead. Wrists over top of shoulders. Once you feel yourself balanced, steady, bring your gaze straight ahead. Now check in with the rest of the body. We want to open and unfold as much as possible. So open up through the elbows, long arms, heavy shoulders. You're not reaching with the shoulders, we're reaching with the fingers and the arms. Now press down with the ball of the right big toe and reach the right heel back to really lengthen through the front of the right hip and lengthen through the back of the right leg. Soften into your left hip, left knee. Breathe. It's that simple. Take a breath. As you exhale, sweep all the way down now. Hands coming to the mat. Shift your weight onto your right hand. Bring your left hand to the inside of your left foot. Wiggle your left foot out to the left. Plant your left hand under your shoulder now. Step your left foot back to plank. Oh, long body. Now bring your gaze to the top edge of your mat. Pull the belly and the rib cage in. Really strengthen through the core. So it's not just through the arms and the feet that you're balancing your body. You can feel the lift and stability, the strength. A little more energy here required in plank. Now push your heels towards the back of the room to the wall behind you. Really long. Reach the crown of your head forward. Take one big breath. Oh, you can do it. Yes. Awesome. Now with your exhalation, press to downward dog. You might have to walk your feet in a little bit closer. I always do, I find. Feel the ease here now in your downward dog. After all the complexity, the energy required for a plank. Lift your heels, bend your knees, walk your feet towards your hands. Take as many steps as you need to get there. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, bring your fingertips down to the mat. Step your left foot back. Long lunge step towards the back of the mat. Ball of the big toe presses into the mat. Pull the left big toe forward. Right heel pulls back. You can feel the scissoring action in the legs. Push into the mat with the feet. Your hands are free now. Sweep out. Eyes at the top edge of your mat. Sweep up. Wrists over top of shoulders. Bring your gaze forward. Open up through the elbows so the arms are long and strong. Energy in the hands, but not overly stretching the hands, just enough energy to separate the fingers. Push into the mat with the ball of the left big toe and open up the back of the left knee. Really lengthen and open the front of the left hip. Soften the right knee, right hip. Breathe. Feel the energy in the lower body. Feel the movement and freedom of your breath in the upper body. You can feel how the lower body supports the upper body. Take one more breath right here. With your next breath out, hands sweep down to the mat. Shift your weight into your left hand. Left hand is right under your shoulder. Bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot. Wiggle your right foot out to the right. Plant your right hand under your shoulder. Step your right foot back to plank. Bring your gaze to the top edge of the mat once again. Hands pushing into the mat, full length of the arms. You can feel your arms beginning to burn. Heels reaching towards the wall behind you. Belly and rib cage pull in, creating strength and stability through the core. You can feel your whole body energized here. Crown of the head reaching forward, maximizing space, maximizing strength, feeling the energy. It takes up a lot of room in the body. There's not a lot of room left for your breath. So let's take a big breath in and exhale, shift back to plank. Bring your feet in if you need to. Oh, my heels feel closer to the floor. Amazing. Feel the alignment of your body giving you so much support here. Not having to brace and hold on all the time, but only engaging what needs to be engaged and letting the rest of your body unfold. Amazing. Lift your heels, bend your knees, walk your feet towards your hands. Take as many steps as you need to get there. As you inhale, come halfway up. As you exhale, soles of the feet press into the floor, knees bend softly and sweep out and up. So good. And exhale, returning to mountain pose. Now, did you close your eyes in mountain pose here? Because if you did, just follow your body's lead. Let your eyes be closed. Tune in to how you're feeling. Feel your breath beginning to restore itself, and then, in turn, restoring the body. Feeling the body soften. Feeling the energy of that last sequence just dissipate. It's kind of absorbed by the rest of your body and just balances out naturally. Energy is amazing. The human body, amazing. You are amazing. Inhale, sit the arms up. As you exhale, bend your knees, bow forward. Bring your fingertips to the mat, coming into a deep forward fold here. So relax your neck, let your head dangle. Soles of the feet press into the floor, lift your hips up towards the ceiling. So if you need to, go ahead and reach for a block, reach for your chair for support underneath your hands. Use your rolled up blanket, that works too. Now before we fold any more deeply, I want you to look at your feet. I want you to lift through the arch. Yep, you heard me. And feel the equal weight on the four corners of each foot. The ball of the big toe, the inner heel, the ball of the baby toe. If you get equal weight through the four corners of your feet, the arch will naturally lift. And then you can strengthen the arch by thinking of pulling up even more. So try not to squeeze the toes. Just think of lifting through the arch. You can even watch your arch lift. And as the arch lifts, you can feel the ball of the baby toe, the pressure increase on the baby toe side of your foot, from the baby toe to the outer heel. But keep the ball of the big toe still pressing, still connected to the mat. Now keep that. Keep the soles of the feet strong, the arch is lifting. And just reach the crown of your head beyond the top edge of your mat. So just think of lengthening through the spine. You'll feel your hips lift up a little bit more. You'll feel the stretch in the back of your legs intensify just slightly, not too much. Take one more breath here, focused on lifting through the arches, crown of the head reaching. Now exhale, soften the soles of the feet, soften the arches, and sink in. Really fold deeply here. Relax your neck, let your head dangle. Now keeping your hips square, walk your hands towards the left side of your mat. So left hand comes to the left side, kind of in line with your ankle. If you're using a block, you can go ahead and rotate the block to the left side. If you're using a chair, you can go ahead, walk your hands to the left side of the seat of the chair. Now think of keeping the right hip pulling back. So you feel this long length on the right side of the body without rotating through the hips, keeping the hips level, not bending through the right knee. Legs long. Relax your neck, let your head feel heavy. So you'll feel a little more weight on your left foot here because most of your body weight has shifted over to the left side of your body. Of course, because your hands have come over to the left. So your arms are at the left. Both shoulders are on the left side. Now exhale, walk your hands back to center. Relax your neck, let your head dangle. Really let your rib cage, your belly sink into your thighs here as much as possible. Relax your jaw. Now walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Anchor your left hip over top of your ankle and just create some flexion in the spine and some length on the left side of your rib cage from your hip to your armpit, maybe even into your elbow. And then once you're in position, you can feel the stretch on the left side of the body. Relax your neck and let your head feel heavy.
Hmm. Ooh, that's an intense stretch in the back of my right leg. All of a sudden, it just got really, whoo, yeah. Now let's come back to center. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Really sink your rib cage and belly into your thighs. Now lift your eyes, look towards the top edge of your mat. So your back feels flatter and longer than it did a moment ago when you were in your full fold. We're slowly coming out of the fold here, but we need to be careful because we've been in a forward fold position for a while. I don't want anyone to get lightheaded or pass out. That would really be a worst case scenario. So right hand on the mat, and just reach your left hand forward and think about pulling your left hip back. Look beyond the top edge of your mat and just create some length through the left side of the body. Notice if you've clenched your jaw and just soften it. Exhale, let your left hand come down. Feel the tension leave the body. Pausing now. Breath in, right hand sweeps forward, your eyes are on the top edge of your mat, right hip pulls back just a tiny bit. And then release. Now, feet press into the mat one at a time, bring your hands onto your knees. Keep your knees bent and your hips low. Use your hands to push into your knees. Use the full length of your arms. Pull your rib cage and belly away from your thighs. Pause here in a supported chair pose. Now soften through the belly and the rib cage. Create some sway in the lower back. Release all the tension there. And soften through the shoulders. Bring your gaze now farther in front of your mat. So looking, 5 or 6 feet in front of you. Soles of the feet active. Push into the floor, ready to rise up, to completely unfold here, lifting up. Hands together. Palms touch softly as the hands float down, resting right in front of heart center. Take a breather. So good. Now aware of the weight in the soles of your feet. Bend your knees, drop your hips. We're coming into a high chair pose. So staying long through the upper body. Shift your weight forward now into the balls of the big toes, just until you start to feel your heels lift off the mat and then sink deeper. Yeah. Now keeping the hips square. I want you to push down with the right heel. Left heel, think of pulling back. And then do the same thing with the right. Pull back with the right and you feel the left one soften. Equal weight on both sides. Do that again. Pull back with the left and soften. Now pull back with the right. Pull. You kind of feel the left heel push to get the right one to pull. And it was the same thing on the other side. When the left one pulled back, you felt the right one push down. All right, so getting ready for a little rotation here to keep the hips and the knees over top, pointing in the same direction as the toes. Heart is high, hands right in front of heart center. Stretch your thumbs so that they connect to your heart, your sternum. We want to keep the hands there rather than rotating through the shoulders. We want to rotate through the rib cage. Small rotation here. Now take a breath, and as you exhale, push with your left foot. Pull with your right as you turn just slightly to the left. Keeping your hands anchored. So you haven't swung through your arms and brought your thumbs towards your shoulder. Keep your thumbs right in front of the heart. Pull with the right heel, push with the left. Helps keep the hips square and rotate through the rib cage. Not the neck, the rib cage. Not the shoulders, the rib cage. Let the shoulders rotate with
the rib cage. Find something to hold your gaze to the left, to the corner, nothing more than that, and breathe. Come back to center, equal out the weight on both feet, equal out the energy. Release the hands, sweep out and up. Oh, hands come together. Hands softly pressing together right in front of heart center. Oh, all right, let's get ready for the other side. Bend your knees. Push your hips back. Feel your weight in your heels. Now shift forward. Shift the weight into the balls of the big toes. Feel the heels just get lighter, not completely separate from the mat. And then bend the knees, sink into the heels. Stretch your thumbs so your thumbs are grazing your sternum. Pull the right heel back, feel the left heel push, and soften. Push the right heel down, pull the left heel back. Feel the strength and soften. Let's do that one more time. Pull the right heel, push the left, feel the strength, knees over top of toes, and exhale. Left side, left heel pulls back, right heel pushes. All right, soften, equal weight on both feet, equal energy, equal strength in both legs. We start there. Take a breath. And as you exhale, rotating through the rib cage, pushing with the right heel, pulling with the left as you rotate through the rib cage, turning to the corner at the right. Taking a breath. Let the legs do the work. Let the breath flow through the upper body. It's not a plank pose, it's a chair pose. Now exhale, release the twist. Coming back to center. Pause right here. Now let's see if we can take our chair pose a little bit deeper. Shift your weight into the balls of the big toes and then sink into your heels. Keep the heart lifting. Eyes in front of your mat. Breathe. Knees pointing in the same direction as your toes. Here we go. Soles of the feet push down. Release the hands. Unfold. Sweep up. Oh, feels so good. And then exhale. Release the hands. Arms at your sides. Softening. Feeling the energy just be absorbed by the rest of your body. You harnessed all that energy for quite a long time. Plank, chair pose. Now just feel your body just come alive with all that energy. So grateful. Your body is saying, thank you for awakening me today. Inhale, sweep the arms up, make it a big breath, open the front of the body as much as you choose. Exhale, same thing, sweep out and just fold forward, opening up the back of the body now. Oh, bend your knees, plant your hands, step back to downward dog. We'll take 3 more breaths in downward dog. Take 1 more breath to really keep this downward dog active. Heels reaching, hands reaching, feeling your downward dog, and then soften for the next couple of breaths. Choosing to come down into child's pose a little bit sooner if that's what you want to do. Listen to your body. If your arms are shaking and your body's saying, hold on, I need a rest, come down onto your knees and take a rest. Just having a little bit of humility, letting your body teach you a thing or two. Everyone now sinking into child's pose. Be sure to have support underneath your forehead. It can be hand on top of hand. It can be a rolled up towel or blanket. It can be a yoga block. Even bringing your forehead all the way down to the mat.
support under the forehead is ideal here because that helps release tension through the neck. And then just check in. Be sure to unclench the jaw and relax through the shoulders. Breathe. Really important to breathe. Press up. Swing your legs round to the top of the mat. Now bring your feet as wide as the mat. So your heels are just off the edge of the mat. Sit tall. I find it helps to pull my bum out from underneath me. So if you find that you're rounding through the lower back here and feel like you're slouching a little bit, feeling a little bit of compression through the rib cage, go ahead and sit on a yoga block. Sit on a rolled up blanket. That will help give you a little more length in the upper body, which of course helps you fold a little more deeply. All right. Resting the weight on the back of the heels. Now spread your toes just to engage through the ankles and keep the toes pointing up towards the ceiling rather than the toes rolling in, which is what tends to happen when we do a forward fold. All right, so sitting tall. Let's take a big breath in, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, lean far enough forward, you can bring your fingertips to the mat inside your legs. So use the full length of your arms, the full length of your fingers to really maximize the length in your body, the space in your body. Now look beyond the top edge of your mat. Take another breath in. Think of reaching the crown of the head up. Again, lengthening, creating maximum space in the body. And exhaling now, just bending at the elbows to sink into your forward fold. Rather than creeping and thinking of reaching your fingers forward, we're not reaching for anything here. We're folding. So just fold in. Feel that wonderful moment when your belly and rib cage connect to your thighs and you can soften. And when you can soften, you really sink into your forward fold. Now with your next breath, really fill your belly with your breath. Feel your belly and rib cage press into your thighs. Feel even yourself come out of your forward fold a little bit to make more room for your breath. And then as you exhale, pull your belly, rib cage away from your thighs and sink into the space left behind by your breath. Now relax your neck and let your arms just fall heavily on your legs now, wherever they happen to be. And slowly bring your chin in towards your chest. Keep your toes spread wide so your weight is balanced on the back of your heels and your toes are not rolling inwards. Just keep a little awareness there. Now unclench your jaw and think of slowly lengthening the back of the body, unfolding the back of the body. Breathe. And press up. Let's bring the feet back to center. Hands behind you. Fingers pointing towards your hips, towards your heels. Now lean back onto your hands. You can feel the heels of the hands connected to the mat. Spread your toes, weight on the back of your heels, legs strong. Now really push into your heels. Push into the hands, lengthen through the arms. Now feel the sternum lift. All right, we're getting ready for a reverse plank.
This is not easy, so be gentle with yourselves, be kind to yourselves. So here we go. Push with the heels, put a little bend in the back of the knees. Shift your weight back. Feel your elbows soften, push into the palms of the hands a little bit more. Belly button draws in, rib cage pulls in. Take a breath. And as you exhale, push the heels, lift the hips away from the mat, bring your eyes up to the ceiling. Push into the heels of the hands. Toes spread wide. Really feel the energy, the tremor of truth. That's how much energy you have in your body right now. Every muscle fiber is firing. Push. Breathe. And as you exhale, just slowly with control, bring yourself all the way back down. Weight shifting forward. Oh, thank goodness. Take a moment here just to rotate your wrists, wiggle your fingers, shake out your hands, jiggle your shoulders. Whew. We don't do that one very often. It's not easy. Bend your knees, toes to the top of the mat. Support yourself as you slowly bring yourself down. You deserve to bring yourself all the way down to the mat. Walk your feet as wide as the mat. Right foot to the right side, left foot to the left side. Arms out, hands in line with your shoulders. Rest the back of your hands on the floor. So your palms are open, fingers are really soft and floppy. We like that. Even take a moment to tuck your shoulder blades a little more underneath you so you feel really open through the front of the body. Take a breath. And as you exhale, just roll onto the outside edge of your right foot, inside edge of your left foot, and let your knees fall all the way over to the right. Rolling onto the outside edge of your right hip, sinking into the right hip, right buttock. Left knee just kind of hovering over the mat, getting this long stretch on the front of the left thigh, left hip. And just lazily roll your head, your chin towards your left shoulder. Tune into the space on the left side of your body. Breathe into all that space, really fill it with your breath. And as you exhale, sink deeply into the right side, the right shoulder, the right hip. Really feel yourself let go. Bring your head to center, knees to center. Pausing for your breath in. Exhaling, rolling onto the outside edge of your left foot, inside edge of your right foot. As your knees fall to the left, sink into your left buttock, left thigh. Right knee just hovers over top of the mat. Feel this long stretch from your right knee all the way up the right side of your body to your armpit. And then here comes that lazy roll. You can feel the weight at your back of your skull as you gently tuck your chin towards your right shoulder. Tune into the right side of your body. Fill it completely with your breath and sink into the left side. So good. As you inhale, bring your head to center and your knees back to center. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Give them a good squeeze in. And stretch your legs out long. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Bring your hands to your sides. Rest on the back of your hands, even bringing your hands a little farther away from your hips, just so that you can rest on the back of your hands. Let the palms of the hands be open and let your fingertips unfold. Breathe. Create a little imagery here. With each breath, visualize your muscles unwinding from your bones. Feel them letting go. And think of the phrase, I need to unwind. Take it literally. Unwind the muscles of your legs from your leg bones. Unwind your hip flexors, your hip muscles from your hip bones. The lower back now, feel the muscles in the lower back letting go of the spine. The lateral muscles in the rib cage that help you breathe. Feel them unwinding from each rib. Arms now. Arm muscles letting go of the arm bones. Shoulder muscles releasing through the shoulder joints. Feel all those tiny, tiny muscles that connect to your vertebrae, just releasing, unwinding, unfolding. Let your body feel heavy. Let your breath be deep and steady. And as the breath slows down, so do the thoughts coming and going from the mind. Feel yourself literally unwind. Feel your body, your mind, and your breath unfolding to the present. Opening to this moment. I invite you to continue to experience your body, your breath in the present moment. Or you can slowly begin to rise up with me. Whatever feels right for you right now. To begin to rise up, begin by little movements, the fingers and toes, the arms and legs. Bending your knees one at a time and placing your feet on the floor. Taking a moment to sink into the weight of your hips, the weight of your shoulders, and the soles of your feet. Gently roll onto your right side. And feel free to linger here a little bit longer. Press up when you're ready. Coming into a sitting position. Tall. Hands together at the heart. taking a moment to be grateful. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be loved. May all beings be at peace. Thank you very much for joining me today. Namaste.